Hi everyone. Earlier we have seen Indian Succession Act 1925, the provisions which describes the rules for Indian Christians. Today we are going to see the important interstate rules in Hindu Succession Act 1956 which are applicable to Hindus, Buddhists, Jains and Sikh. Let's get started. In this session, we are going to see two different important things. One is when a male dies intestate, what happens to his property and how it is getting distributed. Similarly, when a female dies intestate, what happened to her property and how it is getting distributed. So section 8 tells about when a male dies intestate, what would happen. This is the theory part. You can just pause it and read it. I'm going to jump to the animation so that you can understand it better. So usually what happens is when a person makes a will, the property gets distributed according to the will. But if a person doesn't make a will and dies, he is said to be an intestate. So what happens when a person dies intestate? The property gets distributed according to the rules that are prescribed by the law. So for Hindus, it includes Buddhists, Jains and Sikhs as well. If any person dies belongs to this religion, the property gets distributed according to Hindu Succession Act 1956. So in section 8, it says that when a Hindu male dies, what happens? So we will see now, when a Hindu male dies intestate, the whole property goes to the class 1 of the schedule. There are people who belongs to class 1 of the schedule, so it will go to the class 1. If no one is surviving in class 1, it will go to class 2. So if no class 1 and class 2 people, then it will go to agnates of the deceased, and if no agnates are there, finally it will go to cognates of the deceased. So if none of them are there, then the whole property will go to the government, as we've already seen in Indian Succession Act also. So here we will see one by one who all will come under class 1, class 2, and I've already made a video regarding agnates and cognates as well. So we'll see. So there are 16 relationships that are mentioned in class 1 here. Just I have made this table for you to have a look into it. We will see it in animation also. So in the table we have seen 16 relationships. We will see through animation. First is widow of an intestate. She will come under class 1 higher. Then son of the intestate. Daughter of an intestate. Mother of an intestate. Father won't come under class 1 higher. Please note that down. Only mother will come under class 1 higher. Next is son of a predeceased daughter. So daughter will come, but if daughter is predeceased, then if she has a son, then he will also come under class 1 higher. Daughter of a predeceased daughter also will come under class 1 higher. Then son of a predeceased son. Son's son. So if his son is predeceased, then if he is survived by son, then he will also come under class 1 higher. Widow of a predeceased son. She also is entitled to get the property of an intestate. So daughter of a predeceased son. Then son of a predeceased daughter of a predeceased daughter. Daughter's son. So in this case, both the daughters should have been predeceased the father, so that great grandson will be entitled to get the property. Next is daughter of a predeceased daughter of a predeceased daughter. Next is daughter of a predeceased son of a predeceased daughter. Daughter's son's daughter. They will also come under class 1 higher. Next is widow of a predeceased son of a predeceased son. Earlier we have seen widow of the predeceased son. Now widow of a predeceased son of a predeceased son also will come under class 1 higher. So son and daughter of the son's son will also come under class 1 higher. So if the son has a daughter, then if she predeceased his father, then in that case if she has a daughter, she will also come under class 1 higher. So these are 16 relations that are come under class 1 higher. So there are 16 relationships that are mentioned in class 1 higher. Just I have made this table for you to have a look into it. You will see it in animation also. So there are two important things in class 1 hires. Whoever is surviving in class 1 higher, they will share the property equally and simultaneously. For example, out of 16, 5 are surviving, they will share the property equally and simultaneously, that is 1 by 5 each. And also, if a person in second and third degree have to get the property, then the person before in hand. For example, if grandson want to get the property, then his father would have predeceased the intestate. Similarly, for great grandson, his father and his father's father would have predeceased the intestate. In that case only, they are entitled to get the property by means of doctrine of representation. I have solved a few problems regarding this class 1 class 2 hires. Please go and visit that so that you can understand it very better. So this is the class 2 schedule, which is very different from class 1 hire. There we have seen 16 relationships. They will share the property equally and simultaneously. But in class 2 hire, there are 9 entries. First entry belongs to father, second entry 4 people, third entry 4 people. So similarly like that, we have 9 entries. So the property first goes to father. If father is not surviving, then only it will go to the second entry. So in second entry also no people are there. It will check whether they belongs to third entry. So the entries which are prior will get the high priority. For example, if brother, sister and father is surviving, then the property goes only to father because father only belongs to first entry. Brother and sister belongs to second entry. So the whole property will go to father. Similarly, if father's father, father's mother and daughter's son, daughter's son's daughter is surviving, then the property goes to daughter's son and daughter's son's daughter who belongs to the third entry. But father's father and father's mother belongs to the fifth entry. Hope you understood. I have solved some problems regarding that. Please go and visit it so that you can understand it better. So now let's see who all comes under class 2 higher. In the first entry, as we have seen, father will come under first entry. So if father is not surviving, so it will go to the second entry. Brother, sister will come under second entry, and also son's daughter's son will come under second entry. Son's daughter's daughter also will come under second entry. So here in this example, as you can see, son's daughter's son and son's daughter's daughter will get the property only when son and daughter predeceased the intestate as shown in the figure. Next is the third entry is daughter's son's son and daughter's son's daughter, daughter's daughter's son and daughter's daughter's daughter. See, one thing you need to make it clear that if the entries are repeating, if already in class 1 hires and again if they have mentioned in class 2 hires, class 1 only will get the priority. Class 2 will not get the priority. So class 1 will override the class 2 entries. So class 2 hires fourth entries, brother's son and brother's daughter, sister's son and sister's daughter. So brother and sister, as we have seen, they belong to class 2 higher second entry. But brother's son and brother's daughter, sister's son and daughter will come under fourth entry. Next is fifth entry is father's father and father's mother. And sixth entry is father's widow. So father's widow is nothing but the stepmother of the intestate and brother's widow. So these two people will come under sixth entry. So 7th entry is father's brother and father's sister. So class 2 higher, 8th entry is mother's father and mother's mother. So 9th entry is mother's brother and mother's sister. So these are all the 9 entries which we have seen in class 2 higher. So we have seen what happens when a Hindu male dies in section 8. Now we are going to see in section 15 what happens when a Hindu female dies and how the property is getting distributed. There we have class 1, class 2 Agnes and Gognets. Now we will see what happens in section 15. Just read it once and we will go to the animation part. So when a Hindu female dies in the state, the whole property goes to her children and husband. So the first priority is children and husband. So if children are not surviving, but if they have children, then on behalf of their parents, they will get the property. But if no one is surviving, then the heirs of the husband will get the property. The rules that are mentioned according to Section 8 of HSA Act. Then if they are also not surviving, then the mother and father of the Hindu female who died intestate will get the property. And they are also not there, then it will go to heirs of the father. And if they are also not there, then finally it will go to heirs of the mother. So let's see how the property gets distributed here when a female dies intestate. Let's assume that her husband is surviving and they have one son and one daughter. So totally 3 members, husband, son and daughter. So 3, 1 by 3, 1 by 3, 1 by 3. Each will get 1 by 3 property. They will share the property equally. Suppose if they have 2 sons and 2 daughters, then what will happen? 5. So the share will be 1 by 5 each. Next we will see the other illustration. She is survived by husband, son, daughter. But the daughter is predeceased her mother. But she has son and daughter. So what happens is they are entitled to get the property. So daughter's children are entitled to get the property because on behalf of their mother, they will get the property. So children of predeceased daughter also will get the property. So now totally 4 members are there. 1 by 4 each will get. Suppose if son also predeceased, so if he has children, then they can also claim the share in the deceased one. So that's how it works. Suppose if both children and husband are not surviving, then what happens is it will go to heirs of the husband. If heirs of the husband also not there, as we have seen, it will go to father and mother. And if both father and mother are there, not there, fourthly it will go to heirs of the father. And if they are also not there, then it will go to heirs of the mother. So in section 15. So we have reached the end of this session. Just a quick recap. For Hindu male, it is class 1, class 2, Agnes and Gognets. And for Hindu female, it is children's and husband, heirs of the husband, and mother and father, heirs of the father and heirs of the mother. So if she inherits the property from her father and mother, it will go back to heirs of the father. And if she inherits from her husband or father, it will go back to the heirs of the husband only when she doesn't have children. So these are the important things which you have to remember in the important interstate rules of Hindu Succession Act 1956. Hope you find it useful. If you have any doubts, please do ask in comment section, and if you find it useful, please share it with your friends as well. Thank you so much.